This video will show you how to use Adobe Fireworks and trace over a logo that we've created. So the first thing I'm going to do is just open up Fireworks. So here we have it here. Adobe Fireworks is a package a lot like Photoshop. It has some of the many features that you would find in Photoshop, but it's really good at doing stuff for the web. So essentially we're going to make a logo and we're going to use vector graphics to do so. And we can do this using Fireworks. Now, if I just create a new document, you can either pick here to do a new document, or you can go to File and New, and to bring up the same thing. Now, we don't need this to be massive, so what I will do is I want to just pick 600 by 800, and the resolution 72. Now, the resolution 72 is good for digital displays or for the web, but if I was wanting to do this for print, I would probably do it at 300 minimum, okay? And I'm just gonna have a white background. So there we go, got my image. Right, the next thing I want to do is actually open up my logo and get a logo, okay? So I'm just going to open up the folder and drag it straight from here. Now you can see I've got some examples. These are ones that students have done in school, and I'm going to just take one of them. So I'll probably just take this one, drag it in, and what you'll notice is that of course it's a lot bigger. So if I zoom out, you can see it's absolutely massive in comparison. So I'm going to pick the scale tool. Scale tool's over here. You can either pick scale tool, or you can do Control T on the keyboard. So if I do Control T, it does the same thing. Okay, now I can just scale that down, move it up into my image area, and then bring it in a bit. And you can see now if I zoom in, holding down Control and the mouse wheel, I've got it in the area pretty much. Just need to move it over a little tiny bit so I get the whole image. Okay, so I can see it. Right. And when I'm happy with that, I can just click off it. Now, on the layers panel, you might also see history, for example, and you've got layers here and so on. You can just click on these to minimize them if you don't want to see them as much. I just want to see the layers panel for the moment. On the layers panel, I'm just going to lock that so that this does not move now at this point. Right. So all I've got to do is create all of these bits. And what you got to remember, we're going to use the pen tool for this. Okay, so the pen tool, you can see right here, this one. On the bottom, you've got properties, and in the properties, well, I'm not going to worry about the fill color at the minute, but I'm going to get the pen and pick size 6 for that, and maybe basic soft rounded for the type of pen. Now, I'm just going to make shapes here. So I would have to make a shape for this, like kind of triangular shape here. And I'm going to make another one for here. Now, you can see that, for example, I've got this black, this white, and this orange. So maybe I would just do one whole shape with this being black, and then another shape on top of it, which is white. And then I can do a ball that goes on top of this. So I don't have to worry about this going behind. This can go behind, all this stuff can go behind this ball. So what I'll do is we'll just start here, and I'll just start making this really quickly. So as you can see, I can do this pretty quick. If I hold spacebar to move down, I can grab this like that. And that's really useful as you're zoomed in. Now, when I've got to this point, as you can see, I'm behind, sort of behind the ball here. I just connect this up, and I can make that, of course, black. Right, and that's it done. I will do the ball afterwards. So what I'm going to do is make that invisible on my layers panel over here, so I don't see it, and then just do the next one very quickly. So get this white one done. Really, really fast. Pencil's great. And as you can see, I'm doing just straight shapes. So this one will be white. And then make it invisible for the moment. and then I can do these ones. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing as I did for all three of them. If I'm not really exactly where I want to be, I can just go to here and then up. It just saves me having to do lots and lots of different shapes. So here you go. Join it up, pick the orange I want. All right, so hopefully you've picked a specific kind of orange by maybe doing the hexadecimal color codes. I'm just going to pick this orange here, and maybe the darker one's better. That's it. And then if I turn these on, you can see that end is now starting to look right. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is just make a ball. So the ellipse tool in this case, and if I just start from over here and I hold shift on the keyboard, I can do a perfect oval shape, and it's more or less about that size. I might move it into place a little bit like that. That looks right. Okay, and if I pick the orange, but then maybe I'm going to do a slightly darker orange, I think, because that's what it seemed to be anyway. Sort of this one, possibly, a bit darker. Okay, so now I've got that. Now, the problem is I want to do the lines for this ball, so I'm going to just lock all of these other layers so I'm not accidentally moving them. I can block the ellipse tool, this ellipse as well, but maybe I want to bring the opacity down on it. So if I click on it, and then over here I can bring the opacity down so I can see through it, and that's really useful because now I can see those lines. Of course, with the other ones I can actually just take them off because I need to be able to see all the line, but I want to see some of the line for this. So it's basically here, I want to see from this line to that line. Now I want to lock the circle, pen tool again, and this time I'm just going to go from here. Might be worth zooming in a bit, and just go to here, do a sort of bend. It doesn't have to be perfect, of course. All right, and then to that point. So you can see now I've got this line curved around, and it's going basically from the line of the ball to the other end line of the ball. But I've still got this line on here. Now what I can do is just click on the pointer tool. So now I've disconnected from that, and if I just click off it like that, now it's there. Okay, done. All right, so now just do another one down here, and I want to do it from this point to roughly about here. Right, and then hand with the space bar and to this point. So I'll just drag this down like that, and I've got another one. Right, so if I do pointer tool, now what happens if I go back to the pen tool? Well, you can see it goes straight back to that again. So if I click pointer tool and then click off the image, then that works better. Okay, so another one. So I might actually just do this round about here a little bit. The next one, click back here. And this one a bit more further down, and that'll do. Pointer tool, click off. And then the last one's going right through the middle. So down to about here roughly. There you go. Next one to about here. Really easy to do. It just takes a little bit of practice to get used to this pen tool, either clicking and letting go of the pen, or clicking and holding the pen to get the line that you want. Now you can see I may have gone a little bit over this line possibly, but it's hard to tell. Actually no, it's fine, it looks fine. So if I've taken off the background image, I can see if I zoom out how that looks. Now I'll probably obviously want to take that off and put that back up to 100%. Okay, so that looks fine. Turn these other ones on. And the image is almost done, right? I'm getting there. Right, with that image, that looks pretty good. Now I've got the word basket here on the side. Now the problem with this is that it's going round this side. So what I need to do is take a copy. So Control C, Control V, copy of the ellipse. And then what I'm going to do is just write the word basket. So T tool, And up here I'll just write basket. Don't worry about the color and so on at the minute. And then what I need to do is select one of these ellipses. Keep this one because this one's the actual ball, right? But I'll select this one and just move it up beside basket. So it's here. And then if I hold shift and select both of those, what I can do is then go to text along the top and attach to path, attach in path, one of the two. So I'm going to try attach to path. And yeah, that looks kind of what I want, but of course it's on the wrong side. So I'm going to make the text bigger, and let's say 100, try that out. Okay, so maybe a little bit bigger than that, 150. And then what about it getting it round to the other side? Well, I just use the scale tool, so scale tool or Control T, and it will let me rotate it. So you can see it says the word basket here, and if I rotate it round, I'm going to get it move it to the position I want it to be in. So it's roughly something like that. Maybe rotate a wee bit more, a wee bit more. Almost, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so done. Now take that off. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I might just fiddle around a wee bit by changing some little parts of it. Okay, but yeah, I like that. Now, the next thing would be to do, of course, you can see this goes off this end a little bit, so maybe I need to resize all of it down, possibly. So I can select all of it, scale tool, sorry, take these, so I have to take these off first. So to select everything, you can just basically do this with a pointer tool. So with the pointer tool, do that, Control T. And as you can see, I can just scale it down a wee bit so that taking it from the top and the bottom. So now it fits in the image a bit better. Okay, fits in my space and I can move it around. And there is pretty much the finished logo. Of course, you can do some special effects and different things. So here on the text, I can pick styles and I can find text corporate styles, and you can actually play around with some of those and see if any of those would be any good. So if I try that, of course it resizes it, so you would have to change it back. I had that at 150. Okay, so it's done it like that. Not sure, maybe this, but then the problem is it keeps on resizing. That's one thing you're gonna have to just practice with. Okay, so it's like that, maybe not. Maybe I want text creative, this different one. Text creative, text web styles. There's quite a few different ones. If you don't like any of them, just don't bother doing any one of them at all. I'll try that one. Just click on that again. Oh, maybe that's nicer actually. Now that is swiveled this around, so unfortunately I'll have to do 150 again and do the scale tool just to swivel that background where it was. So that's given it a sort of glossy effect look of some sort. So I just need to adjust it background where it was essentially. And I just use the mouse to, I might even just do it slightly smaller than what it is here, because it looks a little bit out of place. 140, a little bit better. Okay, it's okay, not brilliant, but there you have it, a logo.